Hi, so gonna look at my cherry picks of new titles that are coming out in April from DC, Marvel, Image and DSTLRY. Okay, so we'll start with the week, the 2nd of April. And the first one, I think this was mentioned last month. I don't know if it's just been like moved back. I'm sure this was mentioned in the last month's previews, but we've got Absolute Green Lantern #1. That's the cover. This is by Al Ewing writing and John A. Lindsay artist. I'm not familiar with that artist. Obviously very familiar with Al Ewing. So it says Al Ewing and John A. Lindsay get cosmic in the absolute universe without the core, without the ring, without the willpower. What's left is the absolute Green Lantern. So it's a female Green Lantern, 40 pages, $4.99. With Al Ewing, he can be really good, or he can be so ensconced in comic history and trying to show how much knowledge he has about comics history that he can end up just writing up his own bum and getting just really bogged down with ideas, and a lot of it doesn't make sense. It's kind of like him saying, look what I know. So hopefully this is really good. I will try the first few issues just to see. Let's just have a look, see if there's anything else for this month. Right, there's one from Marvel. Okay, so Absolute Green Lantern, 40 pages, $4.99. Fair enough. Okay, keep that in mind. So from Marvel we've got Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell #1. This is a mini-series by Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. That's the cover. So it says, Hell Gone Cold. After a horrific series of events, the world is in shambles. Matt Murdock is old and his powers have faded to nothing. Matt will not, however, sit by and watch his fellow New Yorkers suffer. So instead of swinging around the city from his billy club line, he slings soup at a food centre for the poor. But when a mysterious wrinkly old man interrupts a secret convoy causing an explosion, a deadly gas fills Hell's Kitchen, and this tale takes a turn that will change how you look at the man without fear. Okay, good creative team. 40 pages. So bear in mind, like I said, Absolute Green Lantern was $4.99. 40 pages for this one, $6.99. I'll repeat that again. It's $6.99. Why? So I'm not getting that. That's just overpriced for what it is. That is ridiculous. It's not like it's a prestige or anything, it's just a normal site, it'd be a normal quality comic. $6.99, absolutely crazy. I'm just stopping it there because I'll go into really heavy rants about how it really annoys me how Marvel just fleece people. They don't care, they really don't care. So let's see what else is out for this week. Another comic from Marvel. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe one last time. Marvel, get some fresh fucking ideas. Why do they keep on doing this? They've done it with sequels and all of this. They just keep churning up the same story round on this loop. This has been done to death, and it's got the same creative team writer of Cullen Bunn, and Dalibor Talajak is the artist who I'm not familiar with. That's the cover. $4.99, 32 pages. It's pointless. I will sing Marvel's praises. Like, I'm going to do a videos soon about the Immortal 4, how I really am enjoying that comic. But every time I try and love Marvel, to do stuff like this, stunts like this with rehashing stories what they've already done about 3 or 4 times already, or slapping a ridiculous price on a comic for minuscule amounts of pages. One that's very appealing from DC Black Label is Resurrection Man Quantum Karma. This is by Ram V and Anand Radhakrishnan, with framing story pages by Butch Goose, who's the original Resurrection Man artist. That's the cover. Really nice cover. I'm really excited for this one. It's $4.99, 32 pages. If it's Black Label, that normally means there's about 28 story pages. It says he's back, Mick Shelley, the Resurrection Man. I used to love that comic. It must be like, what, at least 10 years ago. Could be longer. I'm sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. Oh, I'm so professional. It says Mick Shelley's back, the Resurrection Man. He has led thousands of lives, and with each unexpected death and resurrection comes a new superpower. But after living a life to its natural conclusion, Mick Shelley is awoken by a new purpose and power, saving the universe. Follow the Resurrection Man through time as he fights against the monster of his own creation, Gashidokoru, a sadistic World War II internment camp commander who's inherited a twisted version of Shelley's powers. Yeah, I'm for that. I'm a big Ram V stan anyway, but the whole premise will be really good. Ram V does good cosmic, metaphysical, and other big words. Let's just see what else is out for this week. One I'm not going to really harp on about. Well, no, I'm going to mention it. It's a Marvel one, and the reason I'm going to mention it: 48 pages, $6.99. Marvel Rivals #1. So cash grab of the recent computer game that everybody apart from me is playing. But $6.99? How can they justify the prices? Honestly, this is why I just get free Marvel comics. Do we get free? Yeah, I get free Marvel comics. That's it. Right, from there's one shot, Ironheart Bad Chemistry #1, $4.99. It's just a one shot by people you've never heard of, John Jennings and Jeffro Morales, because they've got to keep the IP going, so why not just give it to somebody who works in the filing office or whatever. But it's crazy. Is there anything else? Yeah, there's going to be a series of one-shots all through the month of April from Image, and they're going to be different G.I. Joe one-shots. So this one for this week is called Beachhead. It's a standalone silent issue from Phil Hester, really nice artist, and it's about it's about Beachhead, whoever he is. I've no idea. I don't follow G.I. Joe, but that's the cover. If you like G.I. Joe, do yourself a favour and buy that comic. $3.99, by the way. I know one person will be really happy about this comic. One of my friends on Threads and friends through YouTube as well, Geeky O Hog, he does not like the new Dazzler comic. So this will make him really happy, because hey, if it works well the first time, let's bring it back again. So they're doing like a sequel to it called Concert of Champions by the same team. It's an awful cover. So be like Geeky O Hog and buy this comic. Yeah, I think it's a new miniseries. Oh my goodness. Marvel, you're bringing out the quality. Hey, DC doing Nolan, we know how we'll contract that. We'll flood the market with more Dazzler comics and superheroes being in the crowd singing along, going, "Yay, Dazzler!" So it's going to be $4.99. Gotta love them. The House of Ideas. Compose. So let's see, what else is there? Oh, sorry, that's just took a bit because I'm just imagining Geeky Old Hog's reaction to that. There's a new Image comic called I Was a Fashion School Serial Killer. I kind of like that. It's kind of like a schlocky 50s, 60s exploitation films feel to it. It says Rennie Beverly has just been accepted as New York City's most prestigious fashion school. Her designs are daring, edgy and singular and made of human flesh. Oh, I don't like that kind of horror. It's like I never read Red Room. I didn't read. I tried one issue and I felt sick afterwards. That one from Image a while ago. Kind of like Red Room, but I forgot what it's called now. But yeah, I don't like anything like this. So, did we forget to mention Rennie is a serial killer who simply wants to be a fashion designer instead? Stupid, pesky, murderous urges. So that's the cover. It's by Doug Wagner, who did Plastic and other things, and Daniel Hilliard. $3.99. If you like that kind of horror, go for it. For me, well, that just leaves me cold. I like creature features and old school horror, but not. That just makes me feel. Ugh. So yeah, that's coming out. Not that it's bad. It's just not my thing. Makes me just it feels repellent. But not to be outdone, Marvel are counteracting that with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur 10th anniversary special, $4.99. We'll say one thing, Marvel are definitely guessing the tween market. Oh god. So I think that's it for that week. So we'll have a look at the next week. I'm just going to pause while I sort my nose up. I can feel a little candle coming. TMI now. Okay, so the big release from Marvel for April. Well, when I say big release, it's just a renumbering of a comic. So, but it's Amazing Spider-Man #1. Yay! It's got the same old Spider-Man writer on it, Joe Kelly. Hey! Apparently, it's going to be a rotating art team of John Romita Jr. and Pepe Larraz. Very clashing styles there. I'm not confident because I'd like to try it. I love Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's not been good in at least 10 years, because not through the writers, it's through editorial control, and they're going to ruin this. For one thing, it's going to be bi-weekly, so it's going to come out every 2 weeks. And they're not, so because of that pace, you know, Pepe Larraz is only going to end up doing the covers eventually. And first issue is 40 pages for $5.99. So I'd like to say I'm excited, but I'm not. I'm just cautious about it. But $4.99 is a big ask for bi-weekly. That's why I end up dropping Action with the weekly one. So yeah, it's a miss, especially when it's creators who, one, Pepe Larraz, he doesn't do ongoings. He's not for a long time. He does events. Joe Kelly's just okay, but it's a good diving in point if you want to try Spider-Man again. I'm just very cautious. I might try again. $5.99 is putting me off trying it even. If it's $4.99, why can't I do what DC do? They bring for #1 issue out at $4.99, and even if the comic is going to be $4.99 ongoing, they'll bring that first one out at $4.99 and still be 40 pages. But Marvel can't. They just want all your money. There's another G.I. Joe silent one shot American Hero Jinx #1. $3. I'm not going to go. I'm just want to focus on stuff that I'm interested in myself. But if you, like I said, that's coming out weekly. One that is of interest. It's a facsimile, but it's one that's I've always liked the cover of it. And this is Superman 233. This was the one with the iconic Neil Adams cover. And again, this is where DC do it right. I love their facsimiles because they're done on newsprint, so they're done as exactly how they looked in the when they came out in the 70s and 60s, whatever. Whereas Marvel wanted to do it on this glossy paper, and the colours look garish on that. So this was like a pivotal one. It's $3.99, so that's fine. 36 pages, and it's written by Denny O'Neil. And like I said, penciler is Kurt Swan, and Murphy Anderson is the inker. They were like the iconic Superman art team, and then cover by Neil Adams. And it's like one of the most iconic Superman images of all time, I think. You could find it on lunchboxes on everything back in the day. So let's have a look. See what else there is. I think that's it for that week. So we'll move on to the 16th of April now. I'm not going to show this, but this is one thing I'm pleased about. Again, I'm moaning about Marvel, but it's true. Nightwing is reaching 125. It's like a landmark number. If that was Marvel, they'd release it as a $9.99 comic with 64 pages, 20 of those being the regular story, and 3 of them being stories they don't care about. This, it's just been a standard comic. That's how you do it. Not everything needs to be a big milestone issue. So I'm not going to show. I just wanted to say that. And again, there's a Catwoman 75, another landmark issue, $3.99. But I think that's it for this week. There's a Godzilla versus Hulk. So as I mentioned last month, they're doing, Marvel are jumping on the bandwagon like DC did with Godzilla. They're doing, but instead of it being one big story, it's one shots, because Marvel just do one shots. And they're doing different teams fighting Godzilla. So this time it's Hulk versus Godzilla. So it's like the What If Galactus stories, but this time with Godzilla. $4.99, and it's by Jerry Duggan, Giuseppe Camicoli. Move that cover. So if you're a Godzilla completist, then get it, but nah. I like my Godzilla just being Godzilla. I've not bought the DC one either. I might do if it comes out like cheap. You know, if it comes out like the compact editions or whatever. There's another Doom tie-in. Superior Avengers. $4.99, 32 pages. That's the cover. So one of about 100 issues tying in with Doom. By Steve Fox, artist Luca Maresca. I don't know. So this is a team of Avengers under the influence of Doctor Doom. So yeah. And there's another, Marvel's got so many one-shots. What's got, oh, how many Venom spin-offs does there still need to be? This is Web of Venomverse, Fresh Brains, #1. It says the Venomverse is upon us. It's been upon us for about 6 years now, hasn't it? The existence of Venom and symbiotes across the entire Venomverse will be at stake if they go head-to-head with their Spidey count. Oh, I can't even bother reading it. It's by Erica Schultz, Matt Groom, David Dashmalian, art by Chris Elapelius, Juan Jose Rip, and Luciano Vecchio, and it is $4.99, 32 pages. I think that's it for... There's another G.I. Joe one, this one's Spirit. There's a new DSTLRY one. This looks quite intriguing, by Cy Spurrier, who's normally good, and Matt Espargaro on art, who I'm not familiar with. $8.99. It's the big prestige European formats, hard soft cardstock cover. $8.99. That's the cover. And I've clicked off, so I'm going to just pause while I bring... Okay, so the description for this, like I said, it's by Cy Spurrier and Matt Aspergara. Ma has a secret. Sometimes without warning, he falls out of the world, and this would be an inconvenience if his life wasn't already such a drag. When he's gone, he finds himself in this extraordinary city, a city which is also a machine, endlessly crossing a shoreless ocean, a city of two halves, the bright, bustling spires above the waves, and the beast-haunted twilight halls below. And between clowning along the rusting beach, a troop of anarchic magpies with all the answers but none of the questions. So it doesn't really give you much idea about the plot, but I am a big DSTLRY fan, so I'll read that blind anyway. And then I must say it's impressive seeing a lot of DC comics getting past like the 20s, 30s, 40s and 50s and so on. For example, Harley Quinn's going to be at issue 50 in April, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, this one will have a lot of people excited. I'm sure this was mentioned last month, but I could be wrong again. It's part of the Invincible universe, and this is Battle Beast. So it's by Robert Kirkman and Ryan Otley, so the Invincible team, and it says the best new, not quite, superhero series in the universe. Cursed with an unquenchable thirst for violence, Battle Beast searches the universe for the one warrior mightier than him, and a glorious death his own reward. But even in a universe of mighty Fultramites like Invincible and Omni-Man, it seems that no one may be able to stop the galaxy's deadliest warrior unless he does the unthinkable. So 40 pages, $3.99, really good value for money. If you're a fan of the Ultimate Universe, I've never read it, so I couldn't say, then that'll be one for you. There's a new Marvel Image one, part of the Spawn universe, 4 issues, $3.99. Gone up in price. It's a 4-part miniseries. It's written by Ronan McConneville and drawn by artist Marco Itri, and it chronicles the brutal adventures of Sir John of York, a savage warrior in a treacherous world of dragons, wizards and monsters. So if Spawn's your things, then that might be something of an appeal to you. It's not a character I've ever really warmed to ever. And another Marvel #1. Prices again. Bring it up. So, really milking Predator. They can't do Predator by himself. He's got to cross over with a Marvel character. So it's now Predator versus Spider-Man. It's by Benjamin Percy, who is a good writer, but I just, this holds no appeal. Art by Marcelo Ferreira, who I'm not familiar with. This is the cover. And it's 40 pages, $5.99. Target Spider-Man in Predator's grittiest series yet. It's in Predator, yeah, so it's, you get the gist. I'm just waiting for Predator versus Devil Dinosaur. Let's have a look, see if there's anything else on this week. As I mentioned before, there is other companies who've got loads of good stuff coming out, but if I did those, I would literally be here for 2 hours. But I do encourage you to get previews and just find out for yourself. There's a new DSTLRY one coming out, and it's called Knife. It's by Miles Gunter, who writes some BPRD stuff. Art by Patrick Mulholland, who does art for Power Rangers. It says, Paige Russell is nervous enough about her first day as a yoga teacher, but then something crashes her class that will put her positive worldview to the test. The twisted force locks within an ancient blade that seizes control of anyone who takes hold of it. It sounds like Witchblade, but it very much looks like Witchblade. I trust DSTLRY, but I'm not sure about this one. Could this be the one DSTLRY one I don't get? I don't know. It just doesn't look... I don't know, the quality... I don't know about that one. But yeah, that's coming out anyway. That could be one DSTLRY might actually stop. So we'll see. It just doesn't feel as fresh of an idea. There's another one shot for G.I. Joe. This one's Roadblock. I'm just going to pause because my thing's gone funny. Hey, so we're back and we're looking at the final week, 30th of April. And first up is Summer of Superman Special #1. So it's one shot, basically just leading all the storylines, what's coming out in Superman, because obviously they're going to hit hard with different Superman titles, etc. because of the film. That's coming out in the summer. So it's $5.99, 48 pages. That's fair enough. 48 pages, not 40. Nice Jorge Jimenez cover there. So it's got all the architects on it: Joshua Williamson, Mark Waid, and making his grand entrance, Dan Slott. So they'll be basically introducing all the storylines in this issue. So if you're following Superman, I am, but I'm thinking, if it's going to be crossovers, do I want to invest in it that heavily? So I'm umming and ahhing at the moment with Superman, but I do like it. It's just a financial question. But yeah, so that's going to be a pretty big release for this week. And we have... There's loads of free issues. There's a Godzilla vs Spider-Man one-shot, which is that one there.